let us turn to the question of interplay between ancestor worship and natural or cosmic relation. The ancestor lines are usually linked to the higher powers of natural spirits. From the oracle-bone inscriptions, we see a kind of bridge between the spirits of nature and human ancestors. The Shang ancestor Wang Hai is depicted by a graph with a four-footed animal and a bird-like head. The bird-like head was a very typical image in the Shang royal myth. Wang Hai was linked to the god of the river. He was called High Ancestor River. Thus, in sacrificial rituals, both nature deities and ancestral spirits were to be worshipped at the same time. Ancestral cult has its limitations in providing ultimate source of political legitimation. The royal lineage pursued and obtained political power depending on the particular numinous efficacy of the royal ancestors. However, everyone has ancestors. Ancestor worship is universal among all the people. Political legitimation could be based on numinous efficacy from any other ancestor worship. So, it is reasonable to seek the lineage's ultimate source of political legitimation in the numinous powers of nature. This could avoid the particularistic concerns of ancestors. The ultimate source of the king's authority is its connection with the high god, Di or Tian Di. This is due to the help of royal ancestors, who can have direct communication with the high god. Besides, royal ancestors are also nature spirits, and nature spirits dwell in the numinous realm. The numinous realm is presided by the high god. In history, the emergence of the high god coincides with supremacy of Shang and its ruling clan. This connection between the divine and human enables the king to claim a monopoly of access to the high god. There are some myths that the high god or heaven in some manner directly gave birth to the founders of the Shang and founders of Zhou dynasties. Here we have an example to show the Shang dynasty. From the book of poetry, we have the following story. Heaven bade the dark bird to come down and bear the Shang who dwelt in the lands of Yin so wide. So this is a story about the Shang dynasty, about the birth of the founder of Shang dynasty. Now, another example. This is an example about the birth of the founder of Zhou dynasty. This is also from the book of poetry. She who in the beginning gave birth to our people was Jiang Yuan. How did she give birth to the people? She sacrificed and prayed that she might no longer be childless. She trod on the big toe of the god's footprint, and then was accepted and got what she desired. Then, in reverence, then in awe, she gave birth. She nurtured, and this child was Hou Ji. The high God is heavenly counterpart in the cosmic order to the universal king in the human order. And here there is a unique relation between the two. And this constitutes the basis of political legitimacy in Shang and Zhou dynasty. The powerful model of social order that is derived from ancestor worship may have further implications for the notion of order or for something normative in general. Let us now try to elaborate on this point. Within the ritual community of family, the kin members both in this world and in the world beyond are held together in a network of role relationships. The network is governed by a spirit of peace, harmony, and ritual decorum. Here we have a general notion of order. When the family model is projected to the cosmos, we see a world of entities and energies held together in familial harmony under the authority of the high God. If this model is applied to social and political realm, we see a picture of an immanent order. This order is based on networks of clearly defined roles and statuses, and it is ideally held together by a system of sacred ritual. So, on the most general level, the family model can be a paradigm of cosmic and political order. The sense of order suggested by ancestral worship can also help us understand the more obviously ordered aspects of nature. For example, the 4 seasons, the fixed cardinal directions, the ordered movements of heavenly bodies. Similarly, the indwelling spirits of earth, mountains, rivers, heavenly bodies, together with other divine beings, come to be associated with their assigned functional roles within the larger order under the guidance of the high God. This is cosmology in ancient China. To some extent, it is based on this model, the model of ritual community of family. So, here we have a holistic notion of order that embraces and incorporates every aspect of human experience, including numinous and magical aspects. This notion can subsume and preserve spirits, gods, and all sorts of supernatural phenomena, but it reduces their mythical potential. We have spent much time discussing religious orientation in ancient China. The point is to get a general notion of order or a notion of normativity. This is a key notion in any philosophy. In the West, normativity could be derived from a transcendental being like God. Or this notion could be reduced to non-normative fact. The above discussion shows that in ancient China, normativity is a primitive concept. It is built in the natural order of ritual system within a family context. As we repeated in the first lecture, we do not aim to ask what normativity consists in. Rather, we locate a context in which a ritual act is identified. When we engage ourselves in the ritual act, we will come up with a sense of normativity. And this is our ontological commitment to order. And this will help us understand Chinese thoughts in its early history. Okay, so I have finished introducing the very general background of Chinese philosophy. I have given you a very brief account of history in a very earlier period. Also, I introduced the central notion of religious orientation in the very early period of history in China. With that, I aim to give you a sense of culture in ancient China. Okay, before we finish this lecture, I would like to assign homework. For this lecture, you are supposed to discuss 2 questions after class. Question number 1, what do you know about China's history? Is there anything you are particularly interested in? Question number 2, what are characteristics of China's religious orientation in its early history? So you can write a short essay on those 2 questions. You can also discuss these 2 questions with your classmates or with the teaching assistants. And I can also help you with these 2 questions. That's all for lecture 2. Thank you.